Hey everybody, what's going on? Hellmite here, bringing you another video from Grab the Lantern today. Today I want to talk about Evelynn. If you haven't seen it yet, Evelynn has just been teased by Riot on their Philippines Facebook page. They had a very short 15-second video that came out that kind of revealed Evelynn, showed off her new appearance, didn't really tell us too much about her, but I want to talk about it anyways because I'm very, very excited. This will probably be a shorter video because there isn't that much to talk about, but I'm just really excited about the Evelynn rework. I think she looks amazing, and she is kind of, in my estimation, the first, or the last of the first wave of champion reworks. When Riot first started this whole rework process, they had a lot of, I guess, design debt on their hands. They had old Yorick, old Scion, old Poppy, Evelynn, Rise Again. They had a lot of champions that really needed help in order to get good. And so Evelynn is kind of the last one of those. Finishing her off means that we can move on to champions that aren't garbage tier like old Urgot or old Yorick were, but that definitely still need work, and that will be kicking off with Swain. But Evelynn is the last. So I'm excited to see where Riot take her, because the biggest issue with Evelynn at the moment is just that perma-stealth is hard to balance. I think Riot have found a good balance for it with the whole camouflage thing. I think that gives a decent amount of counterplay while also allowing for Evelynn to be stealthed most of the time. So I'm a fan with what they've done with that, and especially with pinks being visible, Evelynn can know basically if she's been seen and if she's about to be collapsed on, so I think that's good. And I don't really expect that part of Evelynn's kit to change. Now, I do expect a lot of Evelynn's kit to change besides that, specifically talking about her her damage pattern, because right now Evelynn is best played as an AP bruiser. Even though her kit and her theme her theme screams assassin. When you play Evelynn, you want to be this cool, like, sexy, stealthy assassin lady from the Shadow Isles, and you never really get a chance to do that because Evelynn is best played as a bruiser, and that's because the way hate spikes work, you pretty much want to stay in the fight as long as possible, spamming that alongside using the resets on Dark Frenzy to continue to close the gap. So I do think that, oh, and then her ultimate is an initiation tool. Flat out, that's not an assassin tool, that's an initiation tool. So I do expect both Hate Spikes and Agony's Embrace to change. In fact, the fact that the video is entitled something along the lines of Witness the Agony's Embrace, I do actually feel like Agony's Embrace is now Evelynn's title, which means she will be getting a brand new ultimate, but that's exactly what I expected to happen, as it doesn't really feel Evelynn to hit a whole team with this big spike pit and then get a giant shield. That doesn't really feel assassin-y, and it doesn't really feel Evelynn-y to me. Obviously, Evelynn mains, feel free to disagree. You guys have been playing this champion way more than me, so go for it. But it doesn't feel Evelynn to me. The other thing with Hate Spikes is because it's a spammable spell, you want to stay in combat as long as possible so you can hit as many as possible, and so that leads to more bruisery builds in conjunction with the ultimate. So I do know that Hate Spikes will be staying on Evelynn's kit in one form or another. In the Champ Roadmap article Riot released a while ago, they did have a GIF of how Evelynn's Hate Spikes might look after her rework, so I do expect those to stay in some form, probably as a single target, like a single use spell. So you press a button, after a brief delay, spikes pop out, damaging and slowing enemies, yada yada yada, something along those lines. But so that way it does feel more assassin-y. She pops out, she explodes these spikes into you, and then she goes to town, probably with her auto attacks. Dark Frenzy, I expect to see stay in some form or another. I think the reset on someone like Evelynn, assassins are always scarier when they have resets, and I think that's one of the iconic parts of Evelynn, is the ability to kind of get that first frag and then pop Dark Frenzy and immediately run down the rest of the enemy team. So I think that'll be really cool, and I do believe that will stay on her kit in some form or another. I can see her pop out of the shadows, annihilate a dude, and then sprint back after the other bot laner, for example, and kill them too. So I expect that to stay in some form. Ravage may stay, it may change, I'm not entirely sure about that. It is kind of a bland spell without a whole lot of counterplay behind it, but it could stay. I'm not entirely attached to it one way or another, and I would actually expect it to change in some form, because I don't think players are too attached to that. So that's kind of what I'm expecting kit-wise. I do think she will keep the stealth. She may or may not keep the mana regen while stealth. That always felt like a weird part of Evelynn's kit to me personally, but other people may disagree with me on that. Now, I did want to talk about her appearance a little bit, because she has substantially changed. She's no longer the BDSM blue-skinned smurf that she was before. Now she definitely looks very Shadow Isles. In fact, she reminds me a lot of Elise. the hair, the arms on her back. I'm assuming those are her arms on her back, so not quite shadow tentacles like people were saying in that leak, that supposed leak, even though every single part of it was wrong so far. But she does look like she has something on her back, which does remind me a lot of Elise. The hair reminds me of Elise. The long clawed fingers kind of remind me of Elise as well. So to me, that kind of says she's probably staying as a Shadow Isles champion. Of course, the little bit of her that we've seen from the Vayne lore, which is pretty much confirmed that the demon who killed Vayne's parents is Evelynn. It does kind of seem weird that Evelynn would be just gallivanting around Runeterra killing people. It doesn't seem very Shadow Isles to me. They mostly work with the Black Mist. So maybe Evelynn is something else entirely. I know some people have been guessing that maybe Evelynn is a Darken. I kind of disagree with that because she doesn't have a weapon, and that's kind of been her shtick, is she doesn't have a weapon, she claws you to death. So I'm not entirely sure what to make of that, but I do think that Riot definitely have some sort of idea about her backstory now. She probably is Shadow Isles, which would be kind of disappointing for me, but there's nothing we can do about it. She may also be involved with the Black Rose. Now, I know that Elise's new lore has set her up as part of the Black Rose. She works with LeBlanc and the rest of the Black Rose, acquiring them artifacts from the Shadow Isles, and in exchange, the Black Rose sends basically hapless schmucks to Elise so she can feed them to Vilemaw. Maybe Elise is involved in this, or Evelynn is involved in this in some regard. Maybe she's just some random demon that the Black Rose is like, hey, you want to join and kill people? We let you join and kill people. And she's like, yeah, cool. So, who knows? I'm still trying to figure that out. Obviously, we'll know more as we get closer to Evelynn's release date, or reveal date, I should say, which should be on Tuesday, I would guess, because PBE is kind of wrapping up right now. They're adding splash arts, which is usually the last thing they do, so I would reckon on Tuesday we'll probably get our first look at the Evelynn rework, but I think it is very exciting. It'll be really interesting to see both who she is, what her kit is, and kind of the direction that Riot have taken her in. I am very excited to check out what's going on. I will have the Evelynn teaser linked in the description down below, by the way, if you did not see it, so you can check that out and let me know what you guys are thinking. Especially if you guys play Evelynn, I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you are hoping for in the rework, what you guys are think are problems with the current Evelynn, and maybe what you guys are thinking might happen in the future for the champion, especially if you got any lore insights. Big Vorthos here, so I would love to hear from you guys. Anyways, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you all so very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. If you really enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. I upload a video every Monday, Friday, and on patch days as well. Once again, thank you guys so very much for watching. I do appreciate it very much, and I will talk to you all later.